I mean, that seems like a thing we should do at 10 o'clock on Friday morning.
It does seem that way.
Yeah.
While I want to show this video, I also want to say, and I kind of want to give it a couple seconds.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk our way in. That's all good.
SN9 could fly this weekend.
Nice.
That's not funny. Rachel Maddow had the same opinion as me yesterday in her open. Basically was like, this was a fucking win for them, and it's only going to get worse, and it'll get worse very quickly.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing is solved. Everyone should have heads on swivels. Impeach the motherfucker. She didn't say that. She seems totally in the camp that there's not the votes in the Senate. I just am not sure that that's the case.
George Conway posted this morning. He thinks there are.
Yeah. And more specifically, that there would be votes, more than enough votes for the people that actually decided to have the courage to show up.
Right.
Which presupposes that McConnell would actually bring it to the floor.
Okay, so we should get into this in the show, but remind me to put a marker here. Go back to this because I have a thought about that.
Okay. I gotta say,
people are watching us, by the way. There's people.
Yeah. I wanted to say that I'm grateful for Chet. Because his shares on Facebook over the last forever, basically. But like, I was, just kind of barreling around, looking at stuff this morning and collecting some things for the show. And it's his whole feed is just pure fucking gold. Like I'm gonna be going. I save it all in the message thread that Greg and I have. I'm gonna share basically all of it with you guys because it's just pure comedy. It's pure comedy. And it's tragic comedy because it is. But what I did want to say, Greg, is definitely for sure, categorically. Do not laugh.
I promise.
Don't do it. You're doing so much better than yesterday. So I'm going to have to bring out the big gun.
You had to talk about it. Now.
Don't laugh. I'm going to go over here to this button, Greg.
You got the sound enabled for the...
Totally insane. They pushed me on and paced me.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, solid.
Okay, so you didn't know the real story. There was apparently that lady who was crying in the blues because she got maced had an onion in her other hand. There's a still shot of her, and she's holding an onion. So it appears that she onion juiced her own eyes so she could run to the camera and scream about being maced, making her a crisis actor.
Again, like it's 6 months from now, you're going to come back and say, hey, remember when you said we shouldn't legitimize the word
crisis actors?
Yeah, because it'll come back to bite us.
Yeah.
Again, you're right, but
it makes me.
Yeah, it's a little catchy. It's a little catchy.
Yeah, I had seen a picture of that whoever that person is, Becky from Tennessee or whatever, and there's an onion in her hand. So that's what that looks like. So that's kind of crazy.
Maybe,
okay, I want to go back to
somebody. Hold on. Maybe somebody on Parler told her that the way you deal with tear gas is to rub onion on your eyeballs.
Yeah, you can dry out your phone. You can get rid of the tracking chip in your phone by putting it in the microwave on high for 12 minutes.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Yeah, good advice.
Oh man.
Okay, I want to go back to the impeachment thing for a minute.
Go on.
I want to go back to the impeachment thing all day.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly from the first time we went through this, and is this the craziest period in American history or what?
I mean, yes.
Remember back in last January, when there was during the last January's impeachment, there was the thing where either they were going out of session or something, but the rule was that if the House introduces articles of impeachment, the Senate has to respond within 48 hours. So I think by constitutional law, he would be forced to call the Senate back into session. I don't think they have a choice.
But then he can just run the clock out with hearings.
That's not what happens on the Senate side. The House manages the impeachment and prosecutes the case. And the Senate, but my point is, like, I don't think he can say, "Oh, we're out of session. We can't impeach him now." I don't think he can do that.
He'd have to do something, and then he's on the record for whatever he does. But like, he's not going to care, right? So if he protects his members,
no, he just got reelected. He's good for another 6 years. That motherfucker. Yeah. But my point is, that was my first thought was, well, they're out of session. This is never going to work. No, I think if the House enters articles of impeachment, files them, they have to respond and or vote.
I mean, all right. By all means, threaten me with a good time.
They can impeach him after the 20th? Is that true?
I thought
because he's not the president anymore.
Yeah, no, but like because you might be able to do it retroactively because it's all about making sure they don't run again, right?
Right.
I would want to get some better information because I feel like we kind of covered this in 1.0, but I don't really remember the details. That's where we are. That's where we are.
Mean, how fucked up is this?
Honestly, how fucked up is this? The insurrection take over the Capitol, that was 1.0.
Yeah, they're talking about doing it again on the 19th.
Yeah, like they're gonna do it again, and then they're gonna walk in, and there's gonna be like 5 cops there, and they're like, "Oh, hey, let me open the gate for you. You want to take a selfie?"
And I know that sounded a little crazy, paranoid, batshit insane yesterday, but it's looking more and more.
No, it's real.
Like this was a top-down failure, not just the local cops on the scene. Like
it wasn't a top-down failure. It wasn't a top-down failure. It was on fucking purpose.
Okay,
right? Let's
potato.
Be super right, but let's be super clear about it. The people that were responsible for allowing Maryland to bring in their National Guard weren't picking up their phone, and it was the same fucking guy who just got put in to the Secretary of Defense by Trump because the other guy said he wouldn't do it. So
Larry Hogan's press conference yesterday was pretty alarming. That they were waiting. They had 300 National Guard troops ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get a call back from the Defense Department or the Secretary of Defense. The Secretary of the Army finally called them.
Which is even the right way to do it.
I know. They broke the law. Like the whole thing from Pence ordering the Guard in, that's illegal, right? So they broke the law to get people on the scene.
And so this is the thing. And what that
remember 8 months ago when Trump started replacing senior people at the Pentagon?
And we were like, hey, we should probably pay attention.
That's probably not a good thing.
I remember that. I remember that clearly. Yeah. And like the number of times that we saw the chatter about, them going to Washington and like, oh, we're going to like take over the Capitol and execute some people or whatever. Well, they did try to do that in Michigan, and that plot got busted up. And, the thread that Greg sent me earlier, and we were starting to surmise this yesterday even, they had ties, they had nooses, like that it looked like there was at least a core element in that group that was deadly serious about doing it. And if they hadn't gotten all the members out of the chamber, the story would have been actual coup attempt, right? So it's I'm
going to share that Twitter link while I'm thinking of it.
Okay. Seeing the speed with which everything's trying to everybody's trying to just go back to normal, I'm not having any of that because we're already on like a really dangerous slippery slope here, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. He straight up lied. Like the first thing out of his mouth was a lie. However, I want to, I heard people, I can't listen to him. I listened to 5 seconds and I turned it off. He conceded in that video clip. Donald J. Trump conceded in that video clip. So whatever else you think about all the bullshit that he had to pile up around it, he conceded.
Again, what? He said one word to avoid getting the 25th Amendment because he was threatened, right?
Right.
Like that's what he did. So I'm not going to be impressed by that, except for, and I think Chet was the one who posted all of this stuff as well, the sheer number, like just the colossal number of people. I'm actually going to share some of these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop this Twitter thread. This Twitter thread, this is one of those things where we're your gaslight shelter, and people are going to tell you this isn't true and it didn't happen. But
It did.
basically, there's a Twitter thread of them IDing the people that were on the floor of the Senate. The guy hurtling over the barrier wearing, you can see zip cuffs, not zip ties, but these are actual plastic handcuffs that they use in riot control on his hip, and he has some identifying logos on his chest. There's another guy in a different picture in that same room also wearing zip cuffs on his hip. That guy has now been identified as a retired senior officer that went to one of the major military academies. So he's either, he's a colonel in either the Air Force, Marines, Navy, or Air Force. So this was an organized subgroup within the larger group that was intent on taking hostages in the Capitol. That is a terrorist takeover. If Al Qaeda did that, we'd be bombing this shit out of somebody right now.
Yeah. Oh, yes. 100%.
Yep.
Anyway, Parler and a bunch of Facebook people. There's a bunch of Trump supporters that are very sad about that speech because he basically hung them all out to dry.
Oh, wait. Here was my cup. I want to catch those tears because I'm sure they'll be delicious. Yeah, now Trump is an enemy. Trump is
that's right. If you set it up that anyone that tries to burst your bubble is the enemy, and then the guy bursts your bubble and instantly becomes the enemy, like that the best case scenario is that this is how this kind of evaporates and the air goes out of the balloon.
Here's what really happened, Corey. My deep and heartfelt analysis here. Here's what really happened. All of my soy latte drinking Antifa friends with Soup for My Family t-shirts dressed up as 50-year-old diabetic, beefy farmer guys.
Okay.
With neck beards.
Right, of course. And
attacked the Capitol to overturn the election that we just won.
Right, that's obviously true. That makes sense. I do have to read this whole thing.
Yes.
Imagine, if you will, spending the better part of the last 5 years having your brain and ego melted by uninterrupted, Paul exposure, flying to Washington in the middle of a pandemic to hear Trump whine about Oprah and Mike Pence at a rally, marching up to Congress on his orders to smash it and then mill around aimlessly. You go home and hear that Biden won anyway, and all of your favorite Twitter news sources names like Patriot Newsman of the West with avatars of Roman statues posted your photo online and are labeling you a gay communist Antifa actor. Then the next day, the God Emperor you pasted into Warhammer memes puts out a video cucking himself and bending the knee. I'm sorry, those were heinous acts. But please let me tweet again, Jack. You can't leave D.C. because the airlines have dubbed you a flight risk. You can't stay because the cops are actively looking for you after one of their own died. Your roommate at the only hotel that would accept you is a guy named Based Kikastani 1488 who wants to show you his Goblin Slayer torrents. The sun is going down, and you're getting cold.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it just, you hate to see it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You hate to see it. Like, some of these people do, to anyone.
Rob used to.
Can we talk about how they proved the walls don't work? Yes, we can. We can talk about that. It's like, here's what we know for sure. Irony is so dead that it's amazing that you can even say the word. It's dead. It's dead.
Maria has a very solid point here. The irony of these politicians cowering under a desk when they've repeatedly voted against gun reform to protect kids in schools.
I saw a teacher
first time
that tweeted out, I don't know who needs to hear this, but nobody should have to hide underneath their desks. Signed, teachers of every school in America.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on, right? Things are fluid. Elaine Chao and Betsy DeVos both resigned yesterday.
Oh yeah,
okay, these are the people that the night that Hitler shot himself in the head and killed Eva Braun and the Goebbels family killed all their children. These are the people that snuck out of the bunker in Berlin to try to avoid being captured and hung by the Russians. That's who these people are. Let's not. This is not a heroic stand because how dare you, sir? I'm resigning. No, they're trying to avoid having to vote on the 25th Amendment. These are cabinet members, right? And with two less of them, they can't get a quorum. I think there's a required minimum number of cabinet members that have to vote on it. So the 25th is not going to happen. Pence said yesterday he doesn't like the idea.
Yeah.
So there's only two ways that I see this working out. With Trump leaving before the 20th, which is now only 12 days away, is somebody has to walk up to the White House and have that the Nixonian conversation with him that he's got to go, or he gets impeached. That's the only two ways that he leaves before the 20th.
I'll tell you right now, impeachment's going to pass the House.
Oh yeah,
I think this is the thing that's going to happen.
May get introduced today.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. All right. Babs is asking for some coffee, and she definitely won't come on camera, which is so sad. So I'm going to go bring her some coffee. Because I'm a good husband.
Come on, Babs.
I'll be. I doubt she's watching. But, anyway, I'll be right back, and you will get to see my my pajamas.
Well, thank God you're wearing them. That's all I got to say. One of the police officers died. No, we haven't talked about that yet. It's tragic and it's shitty that this police officer apparently bludgeoned to death with a fire extinguisher. Let's not shade how awful that is. I'll tell you, locally, I want Mayor Rob Marlowe of Newport Richey to address this, because this is the guy that's been saying that the BLM protesters in Newport Richey are crazy and insane and stirring up trouble. The side that pointed guns at them, the side that has repeatedly attacked our Black Lives Matter protesters, recently killed a fucking cop in Washington, D.C. this week. And Mayor Marlowe of Newport Richey has been very critical of our local BLM protests. Didn't have shit to say. He said that it was egging on these counter protesters. Well, these counter protesters, the Back the Blue crowd has now killed somebody. And some of our locals were there in Washington, D.C. this week. Some of the same people that hassled our local BLM protesters, threatened them with firearms, actually physically attacked them. Some of those people are in Washington, D.C. this week. And Mayor Marlowe has taken their side. When he criticizes our local peaceful BLM protests, that's what he does. That's what he's doing. That's unacceptable to me. And Rob Marlowe is a Democrat, and I'm not happy to attack him. And it's going to be uncomfortable because I've been friendly with him for years. Now when I see him, I'm going to have to say something about this. Yeah, it's awful and tragic that a police officer died, but I would like to remind our local officials that have been critical of Black Lives Matter. This is the thing. Black Lives Matter folks have been posting this, and I reposted it yesterday. We don't want you to shoot them like you shoot us. We want you to not shoot us like you don't shoot them. And seeing Newport Richey police officers at a fucking prayer meeting with these Back the Blue radical Trump activists and Proud Boys, and you now attack BLM because if there hadn't been BLM, these people wouldn't have shown up in our town. Fuck off. Yes, they live in your town. There are still Trump flags flying in your town, Mayor Marlowe.
So, I mean, this is the thing. What you just said, to translate it, and this is uncomfortable for sure, if black people didn't live in your town, the KKK wouldn't have been so mad.
I mean,
fucking sit down. Like use your fucking head.
Look what you made me do.
Right? Like, for all the posts that Marlowe does about being against Trump, proud of you for that. Thank you for saying the obvious, right? But like, trying to hedge, be super fucking careful, because you're literally eating Trumpist, freaking Klan propaganda about Black Lives Matter to spew that kind of stuff. So I'm sorry, black people live in your town and they don't want to get murdered anymore.
Poor people live in your town who
really?
are also
come on.
Yeah. So vote for our friend Rachel. Send money to our friend Rachel, who's running for city council.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I know I got off on a tangent there, but that was really on my mind yesterday. The people that Rob Marlowe is saying are not as bad as BLM says they are killed a fucking cop in the U.S. Capitol yesterday. And we're going to find out that some of our local ones that came here to Newport Richey were in that crowd in D.C.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, Cabinet's going to resign one at a time in order to avoid the 25th because they're cowards. Yep.
Yeah, I'm I'm concerned about that frame.
What, that they're cowards?
Yeah, I don't think that's what it is. I think they're avoiding the 25th Amendment.
That makes them cowards.
Well, listen, no, I mean, like, signing up made them cowards then, right? Showing up to work made them cowards. Fine. I think there is actually a bit of a difference between somebody who is a coward and somebody who's actually just fucking evil. They don't care. They never cared. They're not quite as bad and dumb and ill-spoken as the Fuhrer, but they were there for all this.
Yeah.
They never said anything, right? And that's not like we've kind of gone past cowardice and gone straight to complicit is the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Elizabeth Wood. They're complicit, and they're complicit even in leaving.
Right. Well, how fast can impeachment happen? It can happen today.
Yeah.
It could happen today. And like I saw a post by Ilan Omar responding to, of all people, Jon Favreau, the guy that directed all the Marvel stuff. How soon can this happen? They should do it. And could be today was Ilan Omar's reply. So,
well, and Favs,
yeah,
was saying they should do it. And Ted Lieu did the same thing. Basically, like, yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they came out today. And again, like the Senate's going to do what the Senate's going to do. We don't know. But seeing the House finally like, okay, wait a minute, we don't have a choice. And again, like, it's the situation hasn't really changed if you've been watching it the whole time the way that our community has, right? It's just affecting you in your office now.
Right.
Right. And so cool. And, it's the Capitol. It's kind of
we imagine there might come a turning point for many elected Republicans where they'd say, okay, I can't.
Well, and
I can't do this. We just didn't think it would take until the last fucking 12 days of this.
I mean, there's 3 Republican governors now that are calling for impeachment or the 25th.
Yes.
So, like, it and that's, I guess, what's frustrating. I really feel like the only people that don't feel this way and haven't felt this way just weren't paying attention. Because, like, we were kind of, paying attention the whole time. And his statements, I mean, Helsinki, if that wasn't enough, because that's no different than what he did yesterday. He just literally packaged everything up and said, no, everything that has to do with our national security doesn't mean anything. And Putin's definitely not lying because he never lies, right?
Right.
And they're like, what? Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been paying attention to politics in like a few weeks, and it was feeling pretty good. And even Babs over the last few days is like, I kind of feel like we have to watch the news right now. I'm like, yeah.
Well, yeah, if there's a poisonous viper loose in your room, you have to once in a while make sure you know where he is in the room,
so right? And yeah, if he's suddenly like taking over the Capitol, you're like, we should probably. He still has the nuclear code,
right? He can't tweet.
We can now. And
well, I mean, he can't.
Yeah,
he can't post on Insta, but
he tweeted that video yesterday. And even the one today is fucking like coming right up to the wall of like, we love you, you're special. You want to read it? We probably should read it.
Yeah,
because it's not like, what he's not posting on Facebook? Anything.
Yes, go on.
I'm just gonna go find it because it's weird. It's weird.
That's a good question. Why are Republicans using Black Lives Matter as an equivalent and not the Women's March, which would be the better equivalent? Right? That really is the situation, right? Where thousands of people showed up in the Capitol and then marched peacefully and then knitted some caps and donated to Planned Parenthood. That's how we fight this.
How many people voted for Trump in this last election? Just your ball it.
70 million.
I thought it was 70, maybe 71 million.
Okay.
75 million great American patriots who voted for me. Again, coded language right there because they call themselves the Patriots. Right?
Right.
Comma, in caps, America first. Comma, and make America great again. Comma. We'll have a giant voice capitalized because it's giant, Greg.
Yes.
Long into the future, they will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to pardon them all. He didn't say that last bit. I'm inferring. But, yeah, that'd be weird, right? But, this is Does anything like this feel like we're conceding? Does anything like this feel like, hey, if you have plans to go storm the Capitol, please don't do it? Right? Like it's just
this new tone is really something, isn't it?
And it was never a new tone. And I didn't hear it, and like everyone's all
Oh
excited.
no! Listen, I work with men who abuse their wives and girlfriends, so this is exactly how it goes. This is why she takes it back.
Wow.
This is why she takes it back. Oh, I don't know what my temper got out of control. I was wrong. Here's some flowers. Remember that trip you wanted to take to Savannah? Let's go, and we'll stay in a bed and breakfast until the next time he punches her in the face. That's the new tone. This is
oh
sorry,
man.
sorry if that triggered something, but
It did.
that's
No,
the new tone.
I had. It was an uncomfortable situation. I encouraged the breaking of a guy's arm who said exactly those same kind of things after trying to assault a very good family friend of mine. And to this day, wish I'd broken them both.
Yeah. Think it taught him anything?
I don't care.
All right.
I get that that's a failing of mine. Yeah, I am not an educator of broken men in the way that my dear and awesome friend Greg is, and that job is fucking insane. But I'm glad you're doing it because I can't.
Yeah,
I haven't encouraged the breaking of any other arms.
Yeah, they don't all change, Corey. They don't all change.
Well, that's
when we apply our methods. But if there's any hope of changing them, it's breaking them out of the mold.
Right.
That it's either I have power or my power is taken away. If those are the only two possible positions, which would you rather be in? You'd rather be in the position of taking other people's power away. So showing them that taking their power away works actually reinforces their desire to be at the top of that equation, not the bottom. And I don't like that that's true.
No, but it makes
I often want to punch them in the face.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying that what I did was right. That's why I hesitated to even talk about it.
That's all right. Yeah, because you know it's going to chastise you.
No, but and that's fair. It was an instantaneous reaction. I still don't feel any guilt over it, but there is a very good logical reason that you just outlaid perfectly. Frankly,
yeah. The only ones that have changed, and it's like 30% probably.
Yeah,
but the only ones that have changed probably changed because we didn't treat them, we didn't humiliate or damage them. Right, that we treated them as human beings that had made mistakes in their understanding of their dynamics. So
somebody said it was actually Tom Nerds for Yang, great guy, good podcaster. Said it'd be really really cool. He was really super conciliatory about I really love this version of Trump and everyone blasted him for it and they should because it's bullshit, right? Like you want to give him credit or whatever. But then he said, what I really hope is that. Biden takes a meeting with a different Trump supporter every day for the first 100 days. My instantaneous reaction to that was, fuck you.
But that's the president's job.
Well, and this is the thing, right? Like, I'm making the same error. I'm calling myself out. I'm making exactly the same error. Because obviously we need to fight in Congress and in the Senate. Because suggesting the Republicans elected officials will be conciliatory is wrong, but we need to figure out a way because they won't. We need to figure out a way to dig into that community and start eroding that power base, and that's how to do it, right? It really is because if the crazier almost like elected officials or whatever, like bring them in and just do that because you can basically disarm them,
right? You let them know that the only thing that you're going to get anything done that you want done. Right, is by having that conversation with us,
and and creating those bridges. We're not going to agree on everything, but newsflash, I'm not a socialist. Or just during this lunch with the Trumper, we explained what socialism is. They did not understand, right? Film the whole fucking thing. There's ways to do it, and I'm glad that he said it. And I'm sort of happy in this moment that I'm outing myself because I had a visceral, extremely negative reaction to that. Because I'm kind of not here for it. But at the other, on the other end of the spectrum, it's it's talking or shooting. Which one do you want to do? Talking, I guess.
Right. I want to shoot. But
I don't want to shoot anyone.
There's all the paperwork and the arraignment and
it's a anyway.
Yeah. All right. Back to some comments here because they are afraid of black people and they don't want to acknowledge women.
I mean,
Yeah. As long as Mike Silvestri, hey Mike, as long as they allow seditionists to sit in Congress, it will forever be tainted and will sustain the people's support.
I am here for the even the people that are suggesting people get expelled from Congress, which has actually happened before for exactly the same reason.
Yep.
I'm here for that. I mean, that's if you want to side with somebody who's literally suggesting people come in and bring guns into basically commit federal crimes,
right?
I mean, you're complicit. That's a thing that's real. You can talk all nice about it now, but it's not going to change anything.
Right. It wasn't about backing the blue. It's about authoritarianism. And I talk to people about this all the time. White women are a protected class. That's why. How can women be in front of this back the blue thing? This is why. White women feel protected by police. White women, unless they're in an intimate relationship with them, in which case they have about a 40% chance of being physically abused by their partners who are cops. But basically, the reason they feel this way is because they're told that the police are there to protect and serve them. Not everybody feels that way. Black women likely don't feel that way to a great extent.
Oh, hey. Sorry, finish your thought.
No, but it was never about backing the blue. It's about naked authoritarianism. It's the same thing as fetishizing our soldiers is the same thing. That they'll protect me. That's all that matters.
This is the other thing. Mom just saw a video of Trump and Meadows partying while watching the news coverage. Yeah. They loved it, and that that's something we need to talk more about for sure. It's just like it was intentional. They wanted to do it, and it got done. Doreen just said Zach just shouted from the office that Dominion is suing him. So,
are they? Well, I knew they're suing Sydney. What's her name for 1.3 billion?
Yeah, Sidney Powell for 1.3 billion. That's whatever. I'm sure Sidney Powell's good for it. What? But they're apparently suing him, which I like, and they should sue him personally, because he's gonna say, "Well, of course I have the money. I just can't. I'm not liquid right now." Yeah, sure you are, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Fuji Grace, nice to see you. The guy who stole the lectern. Remember the picture of the guy walking through the rotunda? It's from Brandon. His wife is a prominent attorney down there. Actually, parish just outside Brandon, but yeah. So there, at least 5 people from the Bay Area were photographed in this Capitol incursion, coup attempt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We got to talk about Sherry's comment here too.
Okay, go
ahead. While death is sad, she said, "Can I lighten things up real quick?" And I already know where this is going. While death is sad, one of the people that died of a heart attack during the 6th at the Capitol allegedly accidentally caused it by, wait for it, tasering his own balls while trying to steal a picture of Tip O'Neill.
Killed by the vengeful ghost of Tip O'Neill.
I mean, tased himself in the nards while trying to steal a to death. I mean, Darwin has so few opportunities these days to really, really dig his teeth in.
Yeah, I heard this is not true, but it's funny either way. I heard that you're a jerk, Chet Gaines.
Yeah, I don't care. Chet, I love, generally speaking, we demand ruthless levels of evidence because there's too much bullshit in the world. I'm just letting this slide. I don't care if it's not real. It's going to be real for me.
Yeah. My favorite dark joke about this is, hey, that lady broke into the Capitol and got to meet Ronald Reagan on the same day.
That's dark.
Oh, it was people are trying. I'm seeing lots of pretty pictures of her. She was a veteran. Oh, so sad. Go read her Twitter feed. Go read her Facebook post.
She's a QAnon nutter. And
she wanted to assassinate the president of the United States. She was actively looking to kill Harris and Biden.
And this is such a great example of that weird and sad thing. So I was wish I was. Chris Hayes is awesome. I was listening to Chris Hayes' podcast, and I think it was when they were the episode about the epistemology. That word always slays
nice.
Me. Thank you. Not really. I had to try twice, but whatever.
Oh,
right. And they're talking about that, and there was actually a whole episode about QAnon. A couple intrepid reporters basically doing a deep dive on that. And it's like kind of relatively normal-ish people that get into these spheres and just get radicalized up the fucking wazoo. Yeah. Like for real though. Not like, and we're seeing it now. Like this is not different than what happened in Benghazi or Iraq during all the uprisings, whatever. This is the same,
right?
And trying to figure out how to solve for that is a non-trivial problem. And I'm glad there's smarter and more patient people than me that are after it. So remember, Greg, I think this was yesterday. You were like, impeachment is not happening. That was yesterday morning. Would you like to amend this statement?
Yeah, I would. Well, Nancy Pelosi made an ultimatum yesterday. Invoke the 25th, or the broad consensus in the House is we're gonna impeach.
Right.
So that changed when Nancy Pelosi. Until she said that, I held the view that it was unlikely. I actually thought it was more likely yesterday that the 25th would happen. But now with 2 cabinet secretaries resigning, no, they're not going to do that. So, yeah. Ben Sass. And I got to tell you, I know Chris Hayes was really, he's gotten more radical in the last week than he'd ever been. Understandably so. Your fucking house is on fire. Like now he's yelling, right?
I mean, that's the thing. He's like, he's
not wrong.
His fuck bucket is empty. And of course it's empty. It's like, hey, remember last time when we told you guys this is exactly what was going to happen?
And he's got to be, it's got to be worse for him than it is for us.
Yeah.
Right. He's embedded in this 5 days a week, 6 days a week, every day. He can't look away from this. But anyway, he had a very different view of Ben Sass's speech in the Senate the other night. I actually thought Ben Sass made sense. He showed good humor. He showed calm. So, he's not a guy that I would necessarily vote for, but at the same time, he's capable of disagreeing, of separating himself from this monstrous, overwhelming shittiness of the Republican Party.
Remember what happened during impeachment?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
And during the freaking Kavanaugh hearings, he is not good. He's not. He sounds good sometimes, which is how he gets elected as a moderate.
Well, he's setting himself up to run for president is what he's doing.
Right. The next day, he's going to go and literally grab Trump's balls and put them in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like that. And every time. So giving them credit for this mealy mouth, go shovel your neighbor's freaking sidewalk. It's like, I just can't get on board. Now, and again, I'm pretty viscerally pissed off. I'm clearly, a partisan when it comes to this stuff. So maybe this is just in your, educator chops. That is a thing that I'm not understanding. But if we normalize this, which is what he does in that statement, he normalizes it while this is bad, but let's all just kumbaya, yada, yada, yada. It didn't fucking happen yesterday and there shouldn't be any consequences. We don't have to do anything about it.
Right.
We just have to sing kumbaya and be nice to our neighbors and do that kind of thing.
Shovel
right?
their driveway.
Right. That'd be a good speech.
But he's not wrong about about that being a positive value.
You're right. That would be a great speech to have said a year ago before voting to impeach.
Right.
Right. But that's not what happened. Right. So this is like the too little too late doesn't even begin to approach how ridiculous it is to me.
Right.
But if he votes to impeach,
Sherry Bernie's, you've been on the path this morning learning stuff. Look at that. I just learned actually that the Senate can impeach still after Trump leaves office.
All right. I'm here for it.
Get much of a point there because he can
can't
be prosecuted.
He can't run again.
He can be prosecuted if he gets found guilty of federal crimes. He can't run again.
Yes, and
yeah.
If you're
I know, yeah. Let's drive a stake through his heart and nail the coffin shut and bury it under a salt mine. Yeah, I get it.
A salt mine.
Yeah.
That's specific.
Pelosi and Schumer tried to get Pence on the phone to talk about 25th, but he refused to take the call. Right.
Yeah.
That's how he's avoiding this.
Yeah.
He's doing the thing he does, and he's doing the thing where he just closes his eyes.
Mother says I can't come to the phone. Flies all over his head. Freaking
Yeah, that's true. Chris Hayes has had a larger stockpile of fucks than many of us. He seems to have run out. With good time. Hey, you run through the tape, man. You run through the tape. You give it everything you got right to the finish line. So there. Yeah. I listen, I'm not telling you I'm a fan of Ben Sass, but I'm telling you his tone the other night was correct. So
Romney's tone was correct.
Yeah, right. The still shots of Romney behind Hawley while Hawley was talking. It's like you can feel the smoke rising off the back of Hawley's head. He wanted to set him on fire. Yeah. I've never seen Mitt Romney that he was furiously angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He was clearly trying to contain himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the comment of the day right there.
That's
That's
if we
why I
were
can't-
smart enough.
Vice President can't come to the phone right now.
If we were smart enough to release this as an audio podcast, we would do exactly what they do at Pod Save America, and that would be the title.
Yeah. Yep. Stacey Abrams says even a broken clock is right twice a day. Says that's what she says when someone asks her about the Georgia governor standing up to Trump. Right? Yeah.
He didn't like the Georgia governor didn't have a choice.
Gets better and better.
I don't know who Steve Reeves is.
He was the original Superman. No, wait.
What?
Is that right? He
No,
was a body.
that's Christopher Reeves.
Okay, Steve Reeves was a bodybuilder actor from the 30s and 40s, though.
What? Why is this coming up right now?
Mike Pence tasing himself in the balls while fantasizing about Steve Reeves. That's. Aren't you glad you asked?
Yeah. Hard to deal with. Wow. Yeah, Maria, just drop that in like every day. You pick the time, it'll always work.
Stephen Lester Reeves, was an American professional bodybuilder, actor, and philanthropist. He was famous in the mid-50s as a movie star in Italian-made sword and sandal films, playing protagonists like muscular characters Hercules, Goliath, and Sandokan. Played Hercules, didn't play Superman. Sorry, I had the wrong.
Either way,
Yeah.
The wrong male archetype.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, when appropriate.
Okay, Johnny, you posted this in a chat with me. There's absolutely 100% no way to prevent anybody in the Trump family from running for office unless they are convicted of crimes and made ineligible to hold office where they might run. So nothing in our process regarding to Donald J. Trump is gonna keep any of them from running for president or Congress or the House unless they are convicted of crimes. I'll say that again. If I'm convicted of a felony here, not only do I lose my voting rights, I also I'm not allowed to run for office. So if Ivanka, for instance, is found guilty of a crime in Florida, she could not run for office here. But somebody would have to be brave enough to prosecute her. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we can't stop his kids from running for office unless they make themselves ineligible. Nothing we could do would make that happen. So we'll just have to destroy them in person when they pop their head up out of the foxhole in the future. Yeah. Right. Before we were born, George Reeves played Superman. I had the wrong Reeves bodybuilder guy. So there we go. Anyway. I like in the old Superman movies where the bad guy fires a gun at George Reeves like 5-6 times, bang, 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 and you can see the bullets bouncing off Superman's chest. And then the bad guy.
That's Christopher Reeves.
No.
Superman?
George Reeves played Superman in the 30s and 40s.
Oh. Why
Right.
do they have the same name? That's weird.
I don't know, but Steve Reeves also had the same name, never played Superman.
All right, okay.
Okay,
All right,
but thank you for killing my joke.
I'm sorry. It bounces off, bullets
Right.
bouncing off.
Bad guy looks at his gun. What does he do? He throws the gun at Superman. Like, well, the bullets didn't do it. What do you think the gun's gonna? What?
I think that's an allegory for an insurrection by a bunch of just raging dummies.
Right. One of them Reeveses. Thank you, Chet. That's right. It was one of them Reeveses.
Nailed it.
But not Jim Reeves, who was a singer and not an actor or a bodybuilder.
Okay.
If one of the kids runs and, God forbid, gets elected, can they pardon him from a federal conviction? No. I mean, runs for what? The only person that can issue pardons for, the president is the president? I don't know. I don't think that's possible. Anywho, what else is new in your world over there, Mr. Man?
Doing another tune with M Blue that I thought was going to be too weird to make sense. And so I
Right.
just kept recording parts over it and deleting the old ones until it made sense to me. It might be good, but I still can't.
Trump.
really know.
I'm so heartbroken. To all of those who have been asking, I will not be going to the inauguration on January 20th. Donald J. Trump.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah. Fucking coward.
Isn't he the first president in like 150 years to fucking puss out like that? Excuse my French. And we all know.
Hey, Dan Pfeiffer from PodSave. I don't really expect Senate Republicans to be motivated to act by anything other than naked, narrow self-interest. But how many of them right now realize that they can take one vote and clear Trump from the 2024 primary field? Man, how many Senate Republicans do you think are, that have presidential ambitions in 24?
That guy needs a megaphone. Well, but then do you worry about junior fucktard coming in and running and like
he's not going to run for president. Like,
dude, Greg, stop. Yes, he is.
He's
I'll tell you right now,
not going to be taken seriously.
1,000,000% will. Trump didn't take it seriously either. They're all superheroes to these.
That's not what I said. I said he's not going to be taken seriously.
Greg, have you learned nothing?
I've learned a lot. Donald Trump Jr. is not Donald Trump. Listen, the skeletons are not just going to fall out of the closet. They're going to come bursting out of the closet.
Dude. They won't matter.
All right. Why are we worried about fucking Junior? Do not give this guy any space in your head.
I'm telling you. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand, though, either. The idea that he won't run if his dad can't is ludicrous. He absolutely will. And 60% of the Republican Party will rally to his banner in a millisecond.
Let's just say that state attorneys general start closing in now.
Oh, and right. Okay. Assuming he doesn't get put in jail.
Who do you think has better protection here, Junior or Senior?
Oh, I think they're both screwed legally. Which obviously,
but there's not even anything anywhere for Don Jr. to hide because his own father will throw him under the fucking bus.
That's just
as will his sister. As will Jared, right?
God, who's going to be left? Well, it'll just be
Tiffany.
Sweet Jesus,
right?
I think Mary Trump should run and just like pawn the whole. That'd be great.
Agree.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just like the idea that they're going to go away and we're just going to be good. I don't. There's no evidence of that at all.
Yeah.
Right now, and there could be. There's promising things. But
I do like the idea of the calculation being put in their heads.
Right.
Senate Republicans, if you impeach him, you won't have to run against him in 24. You won't have to pretend to be not humiliated by him calling you names during the primary later. You won't have to gargle his balls because he made fun of your wife and your dad.
You're losing half of primary voters by doing it, though. Right, like people are going to run in that lane for sure. Like they're going to run in the what have we done? Let's be smarter. Right, like freaking Rubio is probably going to try that. The raging clown.
Yep. And by the way, he voted to he voted with the to not seat the electors in this presidential election. Let's not let him forget that. We have a big job ahead of us in 22.
We do. I need a fucking nap.
Oh, yeah. I need a 1-year nap. Oh.
Good time for it, though. Because, like, the bull markets right now, like, I got shit to do.
Yeah. So go or make some cryptocurrency stuff.
Yeah.
Bitcoin thing.
Yeah.
Did you tell me it was over 40,000 yesterday?
And then it hit 40,000 and then dumped by 3,000 and people were like, "Oh no, the sky's falling!"
Right.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, the price went down to where it started today." Right. Are you drunk? It's at 41.5 now. Honestly, I think it's gonna go to 60 or there around, and then do like a really healthy 30% drop down. And like it'll drop to 40,000 again with the oh my god, the sky's falling, and it will hit the price that it had been 2 weeks ago, a month ago. I think it's not going to take very long to get to 60. But the other stuff is starting to pump a little bit.
Welcome to my world. We've been looking at that ugly mug for 10 years.
Yeah, it's
already.
He's Dime Store Lex Luthor, or probably Macy's store Lex Luthor. He's kind of got a lot of money. But anyway, Oh, you should look at. It actually wouldn't probably make any sense to you, but not that I said that wrong. Like the I don't know if they have the cash value. I think they do. I'm just gonna say sentence fragments. I like turtles. Yeah, no, that was brutal. I should English more. The price of wax increased by 20% this morning.
Oh, I'm rich then.
Yeah, you're loaded.
I could buy a pizza.
You could go make some crypto stuff. Actually, I've been talking to Jimmy about dramatically increasing the number of cards.
That's literally, Jimmy. That's the limit of my cryptocurrency knowledge, right?
It is. But he loves him some NFTs now. So like, I made one convert. He's like, oh shit, this is how this works. Like, yep.
I'm so excited. Somebody, my original NFT from the Schipul Flying Circus charity Flying Circus. Somebody traded me one of my Atari NFTs and one of those for one of their Atari. And I know that mine was more valuable, but they wanted my Schipul meme NFT. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll trade you. Yeah, yours is worth, mine's worth $1 more than yours. I don't fucking care. So I actually traded off one of my one of a kind, well, 100 of a kind Schipul NFTs the other day. So.
I love that. Oh, by the way, it's something that people just started doing this. They found out about Mine and Blue and Uplift's plan to build a school in Haiti from activity that we do this year or whatever, right? And people started auctioning off, because you can auction off your own NFTs on Atomic Hub. They started auctioning off and posting on Twitter, hey, 50% of this or 75% of this is going to the Uplift school mission.
Oh, and more people are interested because
they're going like crazy. It's Emblem this morning. It's like, well, what if we make? He's going to make an account, call it Uplifters, and anyone who donates any NFTs to them, they'll set them up in a package, and they're going to set up an auction from that page. And 50% of it goes to the mission, 25% goes to Uplift, so you keep the engine running or whatever, and 25%, get this, goes to the Uplift, goes right in the fucking ground for miners in game.
I would give 100% of the proceeds from my Schipul NFTs to that. I wouldn't want anything back.
How fun is that? So that's the thing. If you have NFTs you're not using, you can donate them to the Uplifters page. It'll auction them off.
Is this up and running now?
He had the idea this morning. It'll probably be up and running before the end of the weekend.
Link me when it happens, because I'm going to donate half of my Schipul Flight Service.
It's so much fun. It's so much, and it's a good promo for Schipul memes. It's like the win. He always says what win all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I call it win cubed. I'm like, dude, that's not enough wins. You're gonna need a bigger boat. This is like 4 wins at least. Anyway, so
we did in fact skip gratitudes this morning. Fred Eater is grateful to have enough money to buy the new Picard book. First time in a year I could afford to buy a new book. I love you, man. I've been reading like a fiend, man. I've been shopping through books since we moved, and that's been a very good feeling.
Yeah. Jimmy said, "Don't buy a pizza." Never. That Bitcoin guy, remember?
Yeah, I know this story. I actually do know that. That's why I made the reference. But yeah, they used to give you 8 Bitcoin when you bought World of Warcraft.
Something like that. Yeah, he spent 10,000 Bitcoin on one pizza.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, and so he actually I saw a GoFundMe. Like, he tweeted a little while ago, assuming it was him. Whatever. It's like, hey, I'm the pizza guy, and I'm kind of poor now. So if you guys want to donate anything, and people probably did. It was probably super smart. Like,
oh yeah, he's an internet legend now.
But yeah, that's like, what is it? Like 40 billion? It's just stupid.
It'd be a lot of money.
It's a really big number that doesn't even really make sense to human brains like mine. Anyway, so yeah, if you get cryptocurrency, I would highly recommend not doing anything with it for 2 years or 2 cycles, so 8 years, and then only spend tiny little bits of it at a time. Oh, anyway.
Michael Sylvester, Pence announced he will attend.
Yeah, he announced that yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So being separated from Trump with a crowbar, but being separated nonetheless. I'd like to read that. Jeremy Rifkin's Zero Marginal Cost Society. You read some great. I want to go hang out and just ogle the books in Chet's house, because I am sure it's a hell of a library. I'm pretty proud of my history and
Chet. If you made a podcast analyzing each book you read and giving the highlights, I would listen to that shit like it was crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Also, I don't really know what crack cocaine's like. Like a really good drug.
I can help.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So you get the idea. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. You would eat it up like French fries, because I've seen you attack French fries when you're carb starved. So I know what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I'll eat all the fries at the table. I'm terrible.
I got stuff to do, man. I got dinner tonight. Donna Arbogast is cooking dinner for me and Mishi tonight. That's a cool thing. And what else? Oh, I got to visit our friend Kira Withers from Hands of the Goddess. Speaking of great charities that do cool stuff, and pick up some garden pots from her because I'm starting a garden. Got plants and things, bird feeders. Apparently, I'm an old man. That's what's happening here.
I mean, worst things could happen.
I could get sucked into a huge political morass of doom, gloom, and destruction of my country for the next 4 years, but I'm feeling like maybe I won't need to.
Yeah, I think we'll cover it as needed. Let's be like an as needed basis. Did something like really fucked up happen? Because that's this week is pretty fucked up.
I want to recommend a podcast.
Please.
Yes, by some guys who are on their own. The three of them, they're listenable. They're sort of radio guys, but they interview a whole lot of amazing scientists, Corey, and other interested parties. It's called Sasquatch Tracks. It's like a monthly podcast where they interview a different luminary from the field that they dig into some pretty good scientific topics, and they're going to be doing like a history of wild man sightings over the next few months. So that should be interesting. But anyway, Sasquatch,
thereby
that's what I'm
proving
saying.
that Sasquatch is
Sasquatch is real. We love you guys.